begin tonight with that massive manhunt underway in Mexico for the man considered to be the world's most dangerous drug lord.
He has now escaped from prison for a second time. Late last night, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman.
Tonight, an international manhunt is underway for Joaquin Guzman, nicknamed El Chapo.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Joaquin El Chapo Guzman had escaped from maximum security prison twice, and those 2 times he had embarrassed the Mexican government. But there would be no third time. So, when they caught him again, they put him in a prison located in the middle of nowhere. Brace yourself, as we head inside a place referred to as life after death, the ADX Supermax. After El Chapo was arrested for the 3rd time in 2016, the question on everyone's mind was, how do you imprison someone who has so far shown that no prison can hold him? Or how do you imprison a man who once said, "It doesn't matter how many times you feel trapped, there's always a way out"? But when El Chapo uttered those words, he probably hadn't heard about ADX Florence. Or maybe he had, because when you've managed to escape from 2 Supermax prisons, you've probably earned the right to drop some TEDx quotes for your fellow criminals. Still, the feds knew that capturing El Chapo is one thing, but keeping him in prison, that's a different ballgame. So, they took him to ADX Florence. This is the home for those that have been determined to be a threat to national security, or the place for prisoners most capable of extreme violence towards staff or other inmates. Ever since it was opened in January of 1995, the ADX Supermax has maintained its reputation as one of those penitentiaries that no one has ever been able to break out of, and the reason for this isn't far-fetched. ADX was designed to be impenetrable, a place where even a criminal Houdini like El Chapo wouldn't dare plan an escape. But it's not just designed to incarcerate its prisoners, but also to break their souls. Here, the man nicknamed as Shorty is neighbors with the likes of the math professor turned domestic terrorist Ted Kaczynski, the underwear bomber Umar Abdul Muttalab, and Larry Hoover. The Alcatraz of the Rockies, as they call it, is built in an unincorporated area, aka the middle of nowhere, located about 100 miles south of Denver and 40 miles south of Colorado Springs. And if any prisoner does manage to pull off a Schofield, one of the closest facilities he would see down the road is Fort Carlson, which of course only helps to further his course. Behind the walls of ADX Florence. The maximum number of prisoners that ADX can accommodate is 551 inmates, but the facility has never been at full capacity before. For obvious reasons, the Federal Bureau of Prisons has always opted for a high staff-to-inmate ratio, and as of August 2022, the Supermax had a total of 341 inmates. In most prisons, prisoners are only put in solitary confinement as punishment for bad behavior, but solitary confinement is not a punish in ADX. Instead, it's just the order of the day. All the inmates are locked in their cells for 23 hours every day and are under 24-hour supervision.